Hey there Mouseketeers, Kate from PrincessMinnie here, and I have such a fun crafting video for you today. I really attempted to have a less wasteful crafting experience one weekend because I decided to use a lot of the same materials in multiple crafts. If you are a crafter, you know sometimes you buy a lot of one material and some of it goes to waste. So my intent with this was to have a set of really cool crafts that all go together thematically and beautifully with their color scheme and whatnot, but that we also wouldn't be as wasteful as we can be as crafters. And I think that this was crazy successful. I'm going to take you through every step, and I'm also going to show you what the crafts look like displayed in my house right now. Now, even though this is called a Thanksgiving or a fall DIY crafting video, you could really change up the color scheme or the subject matter of the banner we're going to do. And I think that it would easily be able to be transformed for any other season. In fact, I definitely think I will be doing some of these crafts for either this Christmas or next Christmas if I just don't have the time with how many crafts I'm trying to get done. You see, I've already started decorating for Vlogmas. Almost all of the materials that I got, I did pick up at Michael's craft store, but if there is anything I can link to that I got from Amazon, I will put that in my description box below. So let's get started and have some fun crafting together. For our first craft, we are going to decorate a candle holder. So of course, you need your candle holders. I got this one at Michael's. It was maybe about $4 a piece, so you might be able to get them on Amazon, the dollar store, Walmart, really any size, color you like. I just decided to go for, maybe about 5 inches or so tall. And then these maybe 3 or so inches candles came in a 3-pack at Michael's, so I did get 3 of these and 3 of these. I'll show you them all together when they're done. Also at Michael's craft store, I picked up these Artist Loft acrylic paint set that has a metallic theme. I really only went with metallic because that's all they had, but I did want these colors, which are very neutrals and in my opinion very fall appropriate. Then the only thing I got on Amazon for this were these round sponge brushes because we are going to be making some polka dot shapes and possibly some Mickey heads, some little hidden Mickeys on our canisters. So pretty simple. We are just going to take our kind of second size and our smallest size brushes, dab them into the metallic paint colors and apply around the candle holder, insert the candle. Craft is done. It's super simple, super easy. I put little amounts of our metallic paint onto what I'm using as my palette. We have copper, gold, bronze, and silver. I think these look so great and so fallish together. So now I am going to take my second size sponge, dip into each of the colors, and apply to around the candle holder. Let's see how that turns out. And here we are after just one coat. I went around and tried to strategically position the different, see, I got a little bit on me. That's okay. That'll come off. It's just paint. But tried to make pretty decent circles all around, polka dot shapes, some up at the top, 1 or 2 even down at the bottom. And I think this is going to look even better after it gets a chance to dry, and then we can do a second, maybe even a third coat. But you know what? I think we should add a little copper hidden Mickey right here. So we're going to use the smallest brush to add that. It's going to need a couple more coats, but I think that is a pretty cute hidden Mickey. So now to let the whole thing dry, you could obviously fill in with more small size polka dots if you wanted. I kind of like how this looks. And we'll let it dry and do a few more coats. These candle holders took me about 3 coats each for me to really love the way they were looking, but love them, I absolutely do. I wound up adding a few hidden Mickeys around them. You can see a gold one over there, Let's see over here, I believe we have a copper one. So pretty fun to see if anybody who visits notices over the next few years. Oh, we have a silver one too. So it's kind of fun to see the hidden Mickeys. I really love how these look. I think they do look totally fall with the colors. And of course, the final step, add your candle. Loving how that looks. I have 2 more candles. I'm gonna light them and put them on my fall display downstairs, and I will show you what it all looks like in just a second. For our second craft, we're going to be making an acorn garland out of scrapbook paper. So first you are going to want a template. I just printed this out, a free printable template from Pinterest. I will have that linked below. I shrunk this one to 80% of the original size. Just when I went to hit print, you could shrink the size. This one was 90%. I am gonna go with the 80%. I think that looks really nice, but just a thought in case you want a larger acorn for your garland. You also are going to need cardboard for a template. That's how I like to do these kinds of things, at least. Then, of course, you will need all of your scrapbook paper. So I decided to go with, in my opinion, very fall looking scrapbook paper. We have one that's kind of like a birch tree. We have a gold because I need some kind of shininess and pizzazz in my life. We have a buffalo check that's a little bit weathered looking. Just this kind of basic green that has a little texture to it. And then this one is funny. It's called brown leather couch. And I got all of these from the scrapbook aisle at Michael's craft store. And this is going to be for the cap of the acorn. And these I will do the body of the acorn. To assemble the garland, you are going to need scissors. You'll need a Sharpie to trace out all of your acorn pieces. You will need some glue to glue the top parts to the bottom parts. And you will need a string. I got this at Michael's and it is from the Ashland collection. It's a narrow ribbon and I thought it just looked really natural, almost burlappy, which would definitely be great for fall. And then to get the ribbon through the acorns, you'll need a hole punch. The first step for our acorn garland is to cut out your template so that we can make a cardboard template. So you're going to trace all the way around the acorn. Then we are going to cut off the bottom of the acorn so we can also make a cardboard template just of the acorn cap. So here we have our full acorn template and the cap. And so we are going to be cutting out the bottom part on this scrapbook paper, the top part on just that brown leather couch scrapbook paper, and placing on top. Now, so we're not going to need the whole cap on this part, but we are going to need something for the cap to stick to. So I don't want to waste too much paper. I'll probably add just about a ½ inch or so that it can be glued onto. And that's going to be about right. So I'm going to cut out this part and this part so that we may then trace them onto the scrapbook pages. Here are the 2 cardboard templates. So you can see how the cap piece will be able to nicely fit on top of the bottom part of the acorn. And then because I want all of my acorns to have the same top, I just took my brown leather paper and did 4 in a row. I will be able to use some of the excess in the last craft today. I am planning on doing 16 acorns. So even though I did 4 just to start with, just to give you an example, I will be doing 16 caps. And then I took the 4 different colors of scrapbook paper, the green, the birch, the red, and the gold, and gave them 1 each of the body. But again, because I want to do 16, I will be doing 4 each there. Once you have all of your pieces cut out, all you need to do is place a thin strip of glue at the top of the bottom piece. Really, I just used essentially the width of the glue stick. So I just swipe, 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 and then press and attach. And then here is what all 4 of my scrapbook choices look like. I love how these work together. Next up, you need your hole punch, and we are going to punch holes here and here. So both sides of every acorn so that we can put the yarn through to hold it. Now that we have all of our holes in these samples, we're going to take our yarn, weave it in through the left hole, around the back, and bring it up through the right hole, because I think that will provide a really nice effect when everything is done. Okay, and now we are ready to put the yarn through all of the other holes, and then we can attach to some command strips and hang near my fireplace. And for our final picture frame craft, you need your picture frame. So I got this shadow box at Michael's in their wood aisle. I'll just quickly change here so you can see the dimensions there. This actually was not that expensive. I was pretty surprised at how reasonable the price was. Then I wanted to try to be a little more economical in this video, so I'm reusing the same paint colors from the first craft, and I'll also be using some of the scrapbook paper from the second craft. I then additionally purchased some deco art, just like basic whites, as cool white is the color paint, and I'm going to be using the same ribbon from the second craft. You'll also need some clothespins. I got these at Michael's along with these alphabet stickers. Obviously, you could really customize this with any colors you want. There are definitely smaller and bigger size clothespins, so you can kind of see if you like mine or if you want to change it up. There are so many different kinds of alphabet stickers. I really like gold for the fall. Then, of course, you're going to need a kind of decent sized paintbrush, because a small paintbrush is going to take forever to do the entire frame. And then just at the end, we are going to need a glue gun and a glue stick. All right, let's get started. To start our picture frame craft, we're just going to need the shadow box and then your paint of choice. Again, I'm using this cool white and of course your paintbrush, and I'm going to paint this whole thing, including the back. I'm not sure if I'm going to stop at one coat. I will definitely, give you guys an update about how many coats this takes, and I don't mind if it looks a little more rustic, so we'll see. It might only be the one coat. We are one coat in. I really like how the original wood is kind of still coming through on the frame part. So I am definitely going to stop at one coat on the frame and on the inside of the frame as well. But the back part is definitely a slightly different kind of material, and I don't think it's the same kind of nice effect. So I am going to do another coat at least of the back material, but otherwise we are well on our way to a really cool shadow box frame. I am absolutely loving how this picture frame shadow box turned out. As you see, I still stuck with one coat. You can kind of see the original wood shining through a little bit, which I enjoy. So I did one coat on the overall frame piece, and then the back part, like I said, is a different material. It needed 3 coats to be really solid, and that was the look I was going for. And even though I loved it entirely white, I just really wanted to pull this together with the other craft that we did with the candle holders, because they're going to go in the same spot pretty much in my house. And I really like how this looks, and I'm very tempted to actually do this again for Christmas. But let's talk about next steps. Next steps, I want to add a banner, and I want to add some clips, little mini clothespins for the photos that are going to go inside the frame shadow box. So let's go get those materials. I was originally imagining that this really beautiful ribbon would hold the banner on a diagonal, and I still think you could totally do that if you liked it, but I don't think it's going to hold the number of letters that I want to be on this banner. I'd like it to say thankful. It's quite a few letters. So I'm going to instead kind of audible and hang it more like this at the top from side to side. Then I took from the Acorn project, I took the brown paper, like that leather couch scrapbook paper, and I eyeballed really, and then trimmed to my satisfaction a bunch of little triangles for the banner. For the next step, I'm going to take my gold letters, attach one letter to each of the triangles to spell out thankful, and then I'm going to attach them to the ribbon. When that is done, I'm going to take my 4 clothespins and hot glue one side of those down into the shadow box so that way we can clip in some photos. I think 4x4s would work really well for this project, but I don't have any 4x4s right now from that have Thanksgiving or fall images on them. So for now, I'm gonna just put in some pictures from our Thanksgiving trip last year and maybe a prior year and just trim them down to be about 4x4. So the next time you see this, it's going to be all put together and hanging up on my wall. Thank you so much for watching this crafting video. I hope you got some great ideas, and if you have any comments or questions or suggestions, maybe for future crafts, I would love to read those in the description box below. Otherwise, I hope that you are having a wonderful Thanksgiving season, that you're staying safe and healthy and happy, and I'll see you real soon.